In this video, I'm going to tell you the one skill that healthy masculine men master across their relationships and definitely in romantic relationship. And it's something that you want to know and it's something that you want to take into your life and implement and start doing it right away if you're not. So let's dive right on in. One thing I know about masculine men is that they are not afraid to be disliked. They are not afraid to step into difficult or tough conversations. They're not caring about what's on the other end of that conversation because they know this is going to forward the growth of the relationship and the people within the relationship, including himself. Can you guess what I'm talking about here? I'm talking about communication. Communication is one of the foundations of a healthy relationship, and it is so important. And most of us miss the mark on this because our wounds come out, our triggers come out, and then we either leave it in and resent the other person we're in relationship with, and we're not truthful. One of my mentors said just this week is that when there is no truth, there is no love. If you are in a romantic relationship with a woman that you truly love, if you're dating a woman exclusively that you really care about, and you want to develop something with her that's bigger, that's healthier, this is where you get to master your skill and quality of communication. And it takes practice, it takes a willingness to step into it with courage. Courage is all about feeling the fear and doing it fucking anyway. And healthy masculine men know how to do that. And women want that. We crave that, obviously, because we are more emotional and communicative beings. So, for example, when we do something in a relationship that you do not like, and you choose not to tell us because you're afraid, because you shut down, because you maybe end up ghosting and not saying anything at all, and you rather disappear and run away, it affects the relationship more for the negative. And it doesn't forward your growth as a man, your growth into your masculinity. And it's definitely not forwarding her growth because we can't read your minds. You like to think we can read your mind, but we can't. And we make up all these stories in our head if you're not telling us what's going on inside. And we understand that you may need to go and reflect. If it's a big thing you want to communicate with your woman about, you may need to go in your man cave and reflect for a day or two or a few hours to really get the words together or just reflect and fix the situation within yourself first before you can come to that conversation. And that's fine. I have dated and been in relationships with men who shut down at all and didn't let me know. And so this comes up again around mastering the skill of communication. It's okay to let your partner or the girl you're dating know, look, this hit me hard. I want to take a few moments and take some space to really reflect on what has happened. And then I want to come back to you and we can have a better conversation about it when I'm more calm, when I'm grounded, when I'm in a better headspace around it. And notice what comes up for you when you keep those things in. Is it bitterness? Is it resentment? Is it sadness? Is your wounded little boy or wounded inner child coming up? And is it reminding you of something in your past that your mom might have did to you, that another female from a previous relationship might have did to you? And now you want to project all of that in this relationship and maybe self-sabotage or shut down and make this disconnect in the relationship because you have dissonance within yourself because you don't want to speak your truth. Effective communication is the sexiest thing that a healthy masculine man can take on and use it to fuel himself, his masculinity, and his relationship. And it's an initiation for you to really step into your manhood unapologetically. I'm coming back to, if she pissed you off in a way that it seems unbearable, take some space, tell her, communicate that with her, and then come back to talk to her about it. Now, if it's a small thing in real time that just annoyed you, or she didn't respect something that you like, Like, for instance, you wanted to watch something on TV and she didn't want to watch it, and she like went off and made a big deal about it, and you ended up shrinking, contracting, and watching what she wanted to watch on TV. But you noticed that this is a pattern that she does all the time. When you want to watch sports, when you want to watch something you're into, and you want her to be, or you want to watch a show that you like and you want her to be involved because it's a bonding time for your relationship, if that is important to you and if that's an activity that you two do to bond together, talk to her about it in real time. Course correct it right away, because here's the thing: if you keep it in and you allow it to keep happening, you're going to resent her. You're going to be upset at her. And it's going to create, again, a disconnect in the relationship. And she can't read your mind. She has no idea. She's thinking, okay, I got away with this and he let me do what I want to do and I'm happy. And so that's all that matters. But that's not all that matters, because she's not the only one in the relationship. And I'm using very simple, practical examples so that you can fully digest it and understand. Obviously, effective communication you can use across the board for any situation, not just in romantic relationships, also in business relationships and friendships. They're just as important. But since I talk a lot around dating and creating healthy, fulfilling romantic relationships, I'm using that as an example because I know it's a big pain point for men. I know men can go off and complain about it, or suppress it, repress it, and keep it into themselves, but it's festering inside. And you don't want to go off on her one day in a lot of anger because you kept all this inside and you chose not to truthfully and effectively communicate with her. One thing I will say about this: when a healthy masculine man does this, like I said, he's not attached to the result. He's not attached to what is going to come out on the other side of this conversation, because he knows it's going to create growth. It's actually going to strengthen the connection of the relationship. And he's okay with being disliked for those moments from his woman, because out of the effective communication and out of the situation, and on the other side of the tough and difficult conversation, it can actually help your relationship and help you become closer. So this is something you really want to master. And I encourage you, if it's little things, please course correct it and state your boundaries in real time. Don't wait. Work through it so that you can get over it and go through it, and then off to the next thing in your relationship. It doesn't have to be this big thing. Clear communication, effective communication, be direct, be stern. You can still be grounded and speak calmly. And it's something so sexy about that, because women respect you more. It may hurt a little bit in the interim, but women are still going to respect you more. Your woman is still going to respect you and appreciate you more because you were willing to do that for her and for the health and the love of the relationship. And you can come to the conversation through your communication being just as genuine and straightforward. And it doesn't have to be a thing where you get all wrapped up into your emotions and you're angry about it and going off. And that's the difference between a healthy masculine man and someone who's immature and their wounded little boy is coming out and they can't communicate. So they're having more of a temper tantrum and projecting their hurt and trying to express in that way. That's not the healthiest way to do things. I hope that this has helped you and will help you in your future romantic relationships or your current one that you're having now. I encourage you to do this on the regular in any relationship, but most of all in your romantic relationships, because it's going to create such a big transformation and change in yourself, in your relationship, and it's going to help her as well. And she's going to respect you more. She's going to respect your boundaries, and she is going to give you space to be the masculine man that you're meant to be and to master this communication. And it can rub off on her. You can hold grounded space for her to express herself and express her emotions, and they may come out differently because women are a bit more emotional, more flexible, more like water, but that's okay. When she cries because she heard something she didn't like, you're going to be there to soothe that, to be there for her, to be a sounding board, and to hold a space and container for her to do that. And it's going to feel so good and so safe. And it's going to help forward the trust and allow her to surrender to you more and express herself honestly, because you are reflecting that to her and you are being a healthy example in your relationship. And so if you like this video, like it, drop a comment below. Tell me what you're feeling, what you think, if you implemented this before and what was the result. If you haven't and you want to do it, what was the result? Tell me in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. I love engaging with you guys. And in the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you want, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.